Yeah.
Hey, it's who is this?
Intro. The dreaded intro.
This is Pete and Mark. Dream Warriors 90, Deadpool 2. Anything else would we missing for this?
Just epicness again, but no.
Okay, get ready for epicness, and let's just hit that music. That was maybe our quickest / worst intro ever. But hey, we're getting back into it. Mark and Pete, Deadpool 2. We saw it, 10 hours ago?
I have no concept of time.
Yeah,
here.
it's 12 now. We saw it at 10:30.
It was in the most recent recent past.
We saw Deadpool 2 11 hours ago. I saw Deadpool twice already, based on scheduling things with friends and stuff for Dream Warriors, and like sometimes you just want to see movies with people.
And that's become the norm for these bigger blockbuster summer movies. I saw Infinity Wars twice opening weekend.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to see Deadpool twice, but I haven't seen it twice yet, but I will.
Yeah,
I'll see it again.
Yeah, Deadpool 2 definitely a rewatchable, right?
Oh yeah.
You can what's your let's kind of back it up a little bit though. What's your overall history with Deadpool? Like, were you familiar with the character before?
So I heard of the character, but again, I kind of had to defer to your education on him, just kind of seeing were they sticking to it, or what was the information out there, like
the self-loathing, education.
Were the fan fuckboys getting all upset because they're like, oh, you guys are changing the character around?
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't match the comics every sentence for sentence.
Yeah. So we because up until that point, like Deadpool, before the 2016 movie, the first one, Deadpool was mostly like a merchandise, like huge with merchandise. People that were kind of even somewhat familiar with the character would have like a logo hat, like hoodies. Like he's been merchandised
for some time now.
Yeah, and he's merchandised on the level of Superman and Batman. Like if you're doing superhero like Shaker Cops or anything, and if you have the Marvel license, Deadpool's the first one you go for. He's the first Shaker Cup you design.
Which is funny because there's been nothing built around him.
Yeah.
Or as far as I remember with no animated series, no movie, which is odd because other stuff has background. There's been multiple Supermans, multiple Batmans, there's multiple things for this merchandise. This guy's had none of that, yet he's still merchandised almost just as much.
And even back in the day when it comes with Superman, he got accelerated into media. I would even argue that Superman, even back in the 30s, was accelerated into media quicker than what Deadpool was, because Deadpool only had a couple animated appearances.
Yeah.
And that was it. Deadpool was kind of in a few cartoons if you somewhat wanted to see, a moving live action, live talking Deadpool, you have to settle for animation. But Superman went right into radio. I want to say the Superman radio series.
Really?
Was maybe 3 to 4 years after he first premiered in Action Comics #1.
Huh.
Which is amazing, and it took Deadpool. Deadpool premiered his first movie was 2016.
Yeah.
His character came out in 95, 96. Might have been 95. Yeah, it was New Mutants 98, but that was maybe 95 or 90, maybe earlier. No, maybe 89. Might have been 88 or 89.
Man, Deadpool's almost as old as me.
Yeah, so it took him 16 years. We could just say roughly 16 years.
Yeah, that's crazy
to get into, and then even
just something of merit.
Yeah, and even Batman had a black and white theatrical series. You would go to the movies and it would be a 17 or 13 part serial that was black and white Batman that you would watch getting into your movie, and they would play that with Flash Gordon serials, and that was part of going to the movies. You would get these weekly episodes before your movie, so you would go to the movies every week. And even Batman, Captain America even had one of those, and it took Deadpool. So that's one of the points that Deadpool kind of people don't like to. They don't really make that connection.
Yeah.
Deadpool literally was pulled from the comics. People enjoyed him, whatever he was doing, in the comic books.
Yeah, it was fine.
So much that Marvel, cranked up the Deadpool, comics appearances. He became, another Wolverine.
Yeah.
okay, where Wolverine is in everything, Deadpool's in everything, and then the merchandising really solidified that character.
Now let me ask you this: what's the timeline? Because I might be messing this up. Did the first Deadpool movie, come out before Suicide Squad or after?
2006. I would say before.
Yeah, I think so.
Before. Yeah.
So what do you think was the rise to finally getting because they saw the trajectory of all the other movies doing well, like with Iron Man and Spider-Man?
It's kind of funny. Like Deadpool was a dead project for a long time.
Yeah.
And then
I remember you mentioning that before.
Yeah, and then this footage leaked, which kind of in retrospect looks like it was forced.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this test footage was leaked. And then the studio was like, wow, like there's maybe really something here, and they took a chance. And even at that point, Deadpool was like this, it was an R-rated cursing hero that talked to the camera. He addressed the audience. Even the other characters appearing in Deadpool, even Colossus, not known characters. I mean, you're putting this guy up with nobodies, and so what happened when Deadpool was. The hype for Deadpool led to Logan and led to Suicide Squad.
Yeah, okay? And that's what I meant. So what was the catalyst for him? Yeah, where I was I wasn't sure, but I was almost positive that he was first. But something had to lead up to that because I didn't know about the leaked footage.
Yeah,
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, so the leaked footage was, I'm pretty sure, shot and directed by a guy that does credit sequences.
Okay.
Okay, and yeah, how Deadpool had the James Bond.
Yeah.
Stuff, and those guys are sought after and very much well known because they're almost like an artist. They have an eye to make this 3-minute long video. Yeah, and even last night, the credits for Deadpool 2, they don't set up the movie, but they get you ready for the movie.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing the character and they're making fun of things and they're being
off the cuff,
juvenile, and kind of silly.
They're not sticking to the parameters of what you expect from every other movie you go to. Mine is like a Bond movie and that has that different appeal to the credits.
Yeah, and that's the only way Deadpool works. Deadpool needs to be Deadpool, even throughout the advertising, the credits.
Which, dude, we saw a ton of way more branding, way more tentacles into different areas of branding you wouldn't think of, like chimichangas, that tequila, everything.
Yeah,
which is awesome. I think they did a great
shout
job.
out to our YouTube efforts. If you guys want to see us do stupid things regarding Deadpool, like eating 7-Eleven chimichangas, drinking Deadpool vodka, making a Deadpool drink called the Deadpool. Yeah, with the Ford logo.
No, not with vodka, with tequila.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sorry, tequila. I'm sorry. Deadpool branded tequila. With the Four Loko.
Yeah. And did you think about
with the Red Bull?
And everything in every scenario, it's all connected by art, essentially. Whether it's the artistic labeling and the intertwining of Deadpool with the Espolón, whether it's how they placed him on the chimichanga, which still looks the same, just added him in. Yeah. All that stuff kind of...
The Espolón comes with a flask with him riding a unicorn.
Yeah, it's awesome. Dead unicorn, too, I think.
Yeah. It pulls it all in. And... that's part of you almost want to say it's the miracle of Deadpool, because just to adapt to the idea, you have to be in on the joke.
Yeah. And you at least have to acknowledge that it's funny and that you like it for what it is.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't work at that point.
And it's just, I don't know. I think that's the power of the character. I think that's why the audience enjoys. It's definitely an audience-driven character. It's because the two times I saw it, seeing it with a crowded theater versus how we saw it last night.
Yeah.
It's a different experience.
Were you disappointed in the lack of crowd last night for opening weekend?
Well, I thought it was...
Even for a late showing?
I thought it was low when we saw it on Friday. When I saw it with John on Friday, I thought... Him and I were wow, I thought it would be packed. But, sometimes you get spoiled, because Infinity War was a must-see for everybody. Okay? Deadpool, numbers-wise, is breaking records.
Really?
It's breaking. It broke Thursday.
Well, weekend's not over yet.
Well, I know by Friday it was at 53 million.
Wow.
By Friday alone. Yeah.
So how much further did it hit from the first one in the opening weekend?
Yeah, I can we can look that up real quick, because.
And while you're looking that up, a thought that I had was, one of the last times. I mean, again, this might be the worst reference to go off of, but the outrage from Hancock and how that character, obviously had stars like Diddy saying, first black superhero, and this is what we get. He's portrayed as some drunk, some alcoholic, and all this, and it was a pseudo superhero movie. It was more like Greek mythology meets superhero in our times. So it wasn't really a superhero. They tried to do it, but it wasn't really. It was there. It was a makeshift attempt, and but it showed you like the dark side to being a superhero of sorts.
Oh yeah.
And I think it opened people's perspective to like how that could actually work. Yeah. Meaning, like you could actually get into a character like that.
Yeah, like,
and that laid I think that laid some of the framework for some of these Suicide Squads, Deadpools, you know, like all these other movies coming down the pike that are superheroes being bad.
Yeah. So real quick.
Yep.
So Deadpool is already at 125 domestically, 125 million.
That's not bad at all.
So if we compare, let's just do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Deadpool 47 million for Friday. Deadpool at 42 million for Saturday, and Deadpool at another 42 million for Sunday.
Wow, Sunday's not even over yet.
That's Deadpool. This is Deadpool 2.
Oh.
Okay, ready? Friday 53 million. Saturday 40 million.
Okay.
Okay, and Sunday not over yet. Is currently at 31 million.
Oh wow!
So it's got ground to make up, but at the same time, there's also it had a huge Thursday night showing. It was at 18 million. Deadpool 2 for Thursday.
Oh wow!
But it's still super positive for a sequel.
Yeah.
Like we gotta remember, like we're very much spoiled. Sequels doing anything and being, as fun, enjoyable, great as Deadpool 2 was, like we're spoiled because so many people don't know of the age.
Yeah.
Or they forget the age where sequels would stab you in the gut.
Yeah, they would flop sequel, and then when something had there was 3 of them. You're like, how did they get to 3? How did they get to 3? Like, you were amazed that it made it to 3. Like, it got greenlit for a 3rd one. Technically,
one of our beloved franchises, Fast and Furious, should have stopped with Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah,
because that second movie is the worst movie. We got a helicopter or a flying airplane.
They're trying to find me. They are trying to find me.
Looking for Mark. Mark did a couple things online, everyone. And we're not going to get into those details, but they do involve European Swiss bank accounts and
trying to collapse Sprint as a company.
4 Jamaicans, a lampshade, and the garden hose. And we're just going to leave that there. And
possibly Sprint's CEO.
Yeah, but we'll just say Mark is a adventurous guy with very little barriers.
Hey, you only live this life once, people.
Yeah, YOLO. But yeah, so Deadpool was at 42 million Saturday. So it's 2 million less than Saturday, but the Friday
and the Thursday night pre-show was like
but
more than made up for that.
But Friday it's 53 Deadpool 2 versus 47 Deadpool.
Yeah.
So like it's going to come out probably to be the same. The difference is going to be the Thursday night showing with an extra 20 million tacked on, because a lot of times Friday totals are from Thursday. Like when they do these, because they technically do Thursday at midnight, but it's weird because now Thursday showings start at 7.
Yeah, so it's not really Friday.
Pretty soon they're just going. Can we just release movies on the Thursday and do Wednesday night showings?
Dude, pretty soon I think they're just going to be released on Netflix or on YouTube.
Dude,
someone's going to snatch this.
I will say this, okay? Like for Infinity War.
Yeah.
If Infinity War was released on Netflix and theaters at the same time, would you have gone to the theater?
With your setup here, no, probably not.
No, you would just be like...
But if I didn't have a friend like you, like if we weren't so into this and we weren't invested in the podcast... But even still, I might go to my brother-in-law, my sister's house in the media room.
Yeah. So,
you know what I mean? So it really depends.
I guess a part of it, I guess what I was asking would be like, if as excited as we were, even for Deadpool 2, like would we, or like let's just say Mission Impossible Fallout. Shout out to Mission Impossible. Mark and I potentially are the 2 only people excited.
Yeah.
As F for Mission Impossible
If
Fallout.
Tom Cruise wants to come and jump in on a pre-podcast recording, I'm totally cool with that.
We are down
He's
with
welcome
that.
at 6i.
We'll take Henry Cavill with the mustache. We will take mustache Superman for a Dream Warrior sit down. But like, as excited as we are for Mission Impossible, would you settle seeing that movie on Netflix, or would you go see it in the theater and then be happy you can go home and watch it again on Netflix, knowing how much you liked it?
Probably that, because even though we make it fun no matter where we are, and we turn the movie into an experience.
Yeah, we're a little bit, because even last time we had a guest first time guest watching the movie with Mark and I in the theater.
Yeah, and I still poured water on you.
Dude, I kind of forgot about that. You poured a lot of water on me. This is what we do when we watch movies, people.
we go hard.
We do not sit around us. Like, I almost feel like we need
our own section,
like a like a barrier, like
multiple handicap openings for wheelchairs, just so people aren't even tempted to sit near us.
And people will love us for having a barrier. They won't be upset that those seats are not available. They will be better off.
Like, I'll pay more to make those movie theaters like that to keep these guys further away from me than
Yeah, so we're jumping all around here, but we had a attendee to a Mark and Peter movie,
which we have to start cutting that shit out, because this is the second big movie in a row we've had attendees, and I'm getting tired of it.
Oh no,
I'm getting tired of your shit, Peter.
Tired of mine? What am I doing?
You're inviting people to our thing, and you know what? I'm tired of it.
Well, well, hey, technically we were going to have someone else too. We were going to have John wanted to try and see this with us.
He's not coming.
No.
Yeah, it was never going to work. It's a weekend. He's chained. He's chained to the domicile.
It's almost like a breakup. You're like, it's not going to work between us. He's not movie worthy.
No.
But no, and but yeah. So let's just get back to the movie, right? Like, we should jump in on this. So, what was your overall take? Because we did not really discuss like the real feelings about this movie, and I like doing recordings like this because I like the movie sitting.
Yeah.
I really do. I like the movie kind of marinating a little bit, like rubbing it in,
let it sit in a little bit,
soothing it. Sometimes you put
so didn't go together, but I still got what you meant.
You put a scarf in its mouth
and to keep it from screaming.
Tie it up from squirming. Like, don't squirm. Stop moving.
All right, I just got real dark real quick, but we are talking about Deadpool too, so it fits.
It's going to take longer if you keep squirming. It's just going to take longer.
Well,
and then I'm just going to get mad. And I'm trying not to get mad.
I'm trying to allow you. I try to make this a partnership.
I'm trying to make this as easy for you as okay. Well, anyway.
Well, yeah.
That's a little bit of my internal monologue of how I rationalize some of that my Tuesday night fun.
So the movie overall.
Yeah.
I like the setup.
Yeah. Okay.
I liked how they integrated Cable. I liked how it took a lot more effort to get him to a point of like, hey, give us a second, like explain what's going on, like just include us in why you're doing something.
Right.
Like, you don't have to, but like just getting to the point where they finally stop him from trying to kill the kid and everybody else.
It's kind of like you, in a way, because we've seen that character so many other times, like the guy from the future.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like we know it. Like we know.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, I think they were a little bit intelligent, and I do feel like people miss this. Another point people miss is that they were kind of like, we can say what the reason is and move it over here, but most of the reasons people will be expecting, like the top-down list, like preventing a apocalypse, preventing the death of someone, preventing, like there's only so many reasons someone would even travel back in time and try and kill someone. Like there's only so many ways you can go with that. And I thought I thought it was cool that they were just like, well, let's just like give you the action. Like let's put Cable in some action scenes, and then we'll get to it, and then we'll get him coming around, teaming up with everyone. Yeah. Which I like that scene too, where he just like shows up. Yeah. Like he just shows up and he's like, hey, like you like we got the Juggernaut to deal with, so we're better doing this together. Which is, and I love, dude, that even the Juggernaut, when the Juggernaut ripped Deadpool in half. Right. Like what a ballsy dude. Like, and they didn't like turn the camera away. Yeah. You were like the
watching him get ripped like, apart.
Yo, I can't feel my leg. Yeah. Oh, they're right here.
Yeah. Oh, they're there.
Yeah, they're right here. It's so good, but so continue because I knew I cut you off there, kid.
No, that's cool, dude. But I like you said, I like how they integrated Cable into the plot. I like how they set it up. I mean, you saw it coming. You could have guessed his reasoning for coming back from the future and going back in time. But I liked how it kind of. I didn't mind that they oversold this tortured soul kid growing into an adult that just starts killing everybody. Yeah. Like, because you could feel how much he was, like, being tortured at that place. Because that guy's like he's like a revamp from Shawshank Redemption, the warden.
Yes, he is.
And I'm like, I love that character.
Yeah, he's just like a stereotypical
warden.
Like, disciplinarian warden. Yeah, it goes back to, hey, because, we like to do movie references here in Dream Warriors. Cool Hand Luke, Paul Newman. Yep. Like, go back to... This is a failure to communicate. If you're into GNR too, shout out to Guns N' Roses. If they want to come on the show too, GNR is more than welcome. Maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if they have a lot of expertise in the.
I'm not. Well, I'm more or less. I probably would not even have enough alcohol for those guys, and or drugs. I would have to figure out how to get heroin.
No, Axl Rose is back. He's back on the boring wagon.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
Don't you remember from the MTV Music Awards? He tried to come out after sobriety for like 10 years, and he couldn't even sing his own song.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
and he was bloated.
Dude,
and I'm like,
I remember.
Who ate Axl Rose? Who's this fat blonde chick who ate Axl Rose?
Yeah. Or did Axl Rose get stung by a lot of bees?
Like 20 minutes before stepping on stage.
Yeah. Do you remember when GNR had the Chinese Democracy tour, and they were scheduled to tour in Philly? So Chinese Democracy was like their 10-year plus album coming.
Yeah.
Where like the band fractured off, and you had like guys going off to Velvet Revolver.
Yeah.
And like everyone was kind of like doing their own thing, but Axl had like his GNR group.
Yeah.
And Chinese Democracy hyped came out, and then they were going to tour, and then Philly was supposed to be one of the tour dates, and they never never showed up.
Yeah, they just canceled it.
People rioted. They went crazy.
Yeah,
they went crazy. That's how anticipated they were. And then after that, people were just like, now we just don't care.
Yeah.
Like
you blew it. Like you blew it.
Yeah.
Like you had your shot. This could have been epic.
We waited for you for like all of this time, and you blew it.
Hey man. Well,
yeah.
The one thing that we also noticed was another good. Awesome soundtrack. Looking forward to from Deadpool 2.
Wow.
A lot of good music.
Stacked.
Like, just
stacked.
Awesome stuff.
Dude, when they're jumping in the helicopter, the AC/DC, like, dude, it's... And you know what the cool thing is, though? When they're jumping, when the camera's, like, panned away, they're kind of forming an X when they're falling through the sky.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Yeah, it's
quick. It's
they're
really
kind
quick.
of in, like, an X. But that whole sequence, too, was... Like, Once he didn't land and he ended up on the billboard, I kind of, like, at that point, I was like, oh, this is where it's going to go. They're all going to have, like, weird landings that they're going to, like, they're not going to, and then... Except for Pete. Pete's like a normal fucking... Yeah. Well, Pete and Domino, and Domino's got the luck.
Well, hers wasn't a normal landing, but she didn't get messed up.
Right. Yeah. But the...
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We don't... You know what? Side note, what I'm thinking about doing, I want to do this intro for Dream Warriors where I get, like, the guy with the movie voice. And I want the guy with the movie voice...
Coming this summer.
Well, yeah, and I want him to be, like, Dream Warriors, like, spoiler, like, we don't do... Like... We do spoilers. Like, I want to be like the anti...
We spoil worse than rotten eggs.
Yeah, because like we're here to talk about movies, and I'm sorry, we're in an age of media.
Yeah.
Like we're in an age of information.
Like people get upset when they don't know something and someone found out before them, and they found out through social media.
Yeah, and it's almost like how many people know what happens in The Godfather, or even have details about that movie that sit down and watch it for the first time. So that was like one of the tangents I went on when we were shooting our videos. Like one of my solo ones for the shout out to the YouTube channel. Is that it's like, like people know like what happens in Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Like they know Luke and Vader are like related, and they go into Star Wars a lot of times never seeing the movies and sitting down and watching the movies.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like,
and it still blows your mind because you don't know how this is going to get unveiled in the plot.
We're surrounded by spoilers all the time, and we know how these movies unfold. And like again, people might get excited of a new version of Hamlet or a new version of Moby Dick. Okay, we know what happens in those two, but you still get excited. So
yeah,
I don't know. Like I just really like I want to set it up to where like we don't care about spoilers. You little bitch.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I don't like the Moby Dick reference because people lie about having read that book because it's it's one of the hardest books to ever read.
Herman Melville. Yes.
Yeah, it's a very very dense, very difficult book to get through.
Hey, real quick, what's Moby Dick's father's name? Papa Booner.
I think you're gonna say Big Dick Nick.
That also would work. Big Dick. Well, we're Dream Warriors, the hometown of Big Dick Nick.
That's right, dude. Nothing more epic than when we got to Broad after like 5 minutes of walking, and all you hear chanting coming down North Broad is Big Dick Nick.
So has that sank in at all? Like, just the upcoming NFL season being in a Super Bowl town?
Hell yeah, dude. I can't wait, because first,
It's going to be.
I can't wait for the home game.
First week, yeah.
Where I'm going to go out, and if I see any opposing team colors in Philly, I'm going to just scream in their face, Big Dick Nick.
Okay.
Until they cry.
Well, that's just okay.
Until they cry and wet themselves.
Mark is joking, everyone. He will never do that. He will never do that.
No, I won't.
Mark, your stature is too short to make people cry.
That's not true. I'll do it in a kid's face. Huh?
I'll do it in a kid's face. There you go. But no.
Well, the beta male just stands there and takes it.
So, we both dug Cable. Both super impressed with Domino.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Both super cool with like because we kind of already had 2 X-Force teams.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Like we kind of like the second iteration of X-Force at the end of this movie is a pretty good lineup, even with like the big fire kid, like the Fire Fist.
But we don't know what the Asian lesbian girlfriend does. Like we haven't revealed what she does.
No, but
like, which is funny because you think she has some kind of power. Like
well, I thought didn't she power a chain? Didn't she whip a chain and powered it? I saw the movie twice and I really can't recall.
Still can't.
Why can't I recall that? I thought she powered a chain.
There's a reason for that.
And was maybe like she could charge things, and like kind of like Gambit.
Oh, maybe she charges up her girl.
Yeah, or something. But yeah, maybe that's.
She charges their toys up.
But the again too, like finally, like so, Deadpool did 2 things that other movies couldn't do. They gave us a real Colossus, like a real Russian Colossus, and they gave us a real Juggernaut.
Yeah.
Like which was because like, amazing.
The only one we've seen until now was
was Vinny, like forget that dude's name.
That's the guy from Gone in 60 Seconds that doesn't talk till the very end.
Yeah, but he's like
and it's like he's philosophizing at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
like,
but
dude, I thought you were from Long Beach.
Right. And that guy, I know that he's from the Guy Ritchie movies, like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Yep. And he's another guy that spent time, like he spent time in prison, like But you can kind of just
you can tell it's in the shoulders.
It is, yeah.
Like Mystic River, it's in the shoulders.
Yeah. But so like the version of him in X-Men 3, it's just another version. Take it or leave it, but most people are going to leave it.
Yeah. Especially if you're seeing Deadpool 2, you're like, this is what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, this is where like he is like even matching Colossus. Which I kind of like that you do see him easily overpowering Colossus because
he's supposed to be able to.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of our discussion when you have like 2 super strong characters or 2 like invincible characters, and if one's bigger, just in sheer mass alone,
he should be able to overpower him.
They will have a huge advantage. And I love how when he caught the punch and he fucking snaps his wrist.
Yeah,
and he's like, like Colossus in pain. And it's like, yo, I'm like, because it raises the stakes, and then you're like, all right, something different, something cooler is going to happen, just to stop this guy.
Yeah,
which is they did. They shove a electrical cord up his ass and pushed him into a pool. Yeah, spoiler alert there. Juggernaut gets killed by getting his asshole electrified.
Which, normally is a Friday night occurrence in Philadelphia.
So how much? So the other thing I was thinking, and is a regular occurrence. The other thing I was thinking, like especially with the second time seeing this, of how much of a relief the movie was, like post Infinity War, to get like, Infinity War being such like
a mega blockbuster.
Well, not just mega blockbuster, but emotionally tolling. Like that was a tough move. Like at the end of that movie, you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, you're like emotionally invested, even if you don't even seen the last event. If you saw Civil War and then this, you're emotionally invested in a lot of these characters.
If you saw Civil War, Ragnarok,
BP,
maybe Doctor Strange, right?
Yeah,
like maybe,
but BP,
and
which most people did,
or maybe maybe Homecoming. Like, like because of that Spider-Man, Tony Stark. I would say that more than anything.
Oh, yeah.
What happens, like, like with the death of Peter Parker, like, that...
in his arms, like, that's it. I don't want to go. I'm sorry, I don't want to go. Like,
But just going through all of that and then having a movie like Deadpool to where you're literally laughing the entire time. Yeah. They're breaking so many different barriers.
You anally kill a villain. Like, I mean, that's just...
anally kill a villain. Like, and
like, it's so wrong, it's right.
They probably didn't kill him. I don't think... Like, they just...
stopped him for...
slowed him down. Yeah, they were able to...
Incapacitated him for, like, a hot second.
And they kind of, like... moved on. Like, it's almost like funny, like the way how they just moved on from things because the movie moves at a certain speed. They kind of just like even moved on with some of the Cable stuff.
Yeah.
Where like all of a sudden it's just like, all right, like Cable gets to our time, like period. Like it doesn't matter like how he does things and like there's no setup for Cable. He goes from like future to now to blowing things up.
Yeah.
Like there's no like you kind of see him in a hotel room like making a weapon or something. But it's like there's no even real setup for Cable. There's no real resolution for the Juggernaut thing.
Yeah.
Like they're kind of like
and they left shit open on purpose. But I think they did it on purpose because that's the beauty of these movies is that when you don't define every single little thing, it gives you more options down the road.
Yeah, and I think it's fun. I think it's fun saying did Juggernaut just get up and walk away?
Yeah.
Like is he like I don't no
Is
way
someone gonna come
kill
get him? Like does the somebody who worked there who somehow survived like try to revive him and then he makes a deal and like
and you know what like the cool thing too I even like the concept that there's like the Xavier School which is like your Ivy League but then like
there's this school
like the kid is like in like Slumdog like the kid's in like a bad place for mutants and you're like dude that's kind of even interesting because it's just like there's now a scale. It's not just Professor Xavier finds kids and gives them like a silver spoon and says live here and train you know like no.
Well, and that's the thing where you see that there's a darker side to that whole like being a mutant and being a teenager where there are kids he won't take even though he can control them with his mind. He's just not going to take them and I love it. But then they go and fight other mutants that went down that path. So it's kind of like, well, why didn't you help these kids before they got to this level?
Yeah, it's almost like Domino's like, oh, I went here.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay. And, like, technically, that they...
Oh, she's like, I survived here. Like,
yeah, and it's kind of like that really didn't have to be, like, in the movie. Like, they could have just left that line out, but I was super impressed with her. You and I were super turned on just watching that girl. I forget her name, but...
I'm going to learn it now.
Yeah, so real quick... Oh, we got some people on hold. So to wrap this up,
put that scarf back in.
So the guy who directed this did Atomic Blonde.
I still never saw it all the way through.
Yeah,
still
we never finished Atomic Blonde.
Yeah,
and now I'm like a little upset. But Atomic Blonde, going into this scene, what I saw of Atomic Blonde is still like incredibly shot, like well framed. Yeah, there's. Some of the stills in that movie are like you can print them out, put them up on your wall.
Oh
like,
yeah, easily.
Especially with the light snow falling and like the beginning and stuff like that. So like I don't know, dude. Like this movie, super impressive. Definitely Deadpool 3 X-Force movie. Like doing both.
And even if they don't do Deadpool, they just do X-Force, and he's like a main part of the trailer and like the branding and. Yeah, even if they don't call it Deadpool 3, because that might be something where again these franchises are trying to reinvent themselves. They're trying to find ways to move them forward and not be traditional. And if anybody's not going to be traditional in the paradigm of movies, it's going to be Deadpool.
I kind of said this also that
we'll say it again.
I think with him and his endless references to where he's making reference to like Thanos and Marvel, like
DC's like that's so dark.
Yeah, and
he's showing from the DC universe.
His MCU references, his Marvel Cinematic references. Almost like put him in that universe.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of weird. They put like his references alone put him in the X-Men movie universe, and they also put him in because like technically he's in the Patrick Stewart. Like he makes reference to Patrick Stewart, but the X-Men are the James Envoy X-Men that we see in this.
That's probably on purpose. I'm sure it's on purpose. It's kind of funny. He's poking fun at like that whole scenario.
So he's making fun of like two timelines.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's making fun of Logan, and then he's making fun of like the MCU, and you can like literally put this character anywhere, and I just think you would accept it because of the references, you believe he already knows about it, and if he knows about it, it's like he's real. Been there.
Yeah.
Like and you're like, wow, that's kind of like. There's no way that's planned out. I would say like that's an unintended consequence, but it's a good one. Like it's
because again it gives you an out. Like if they decide, hey, you know what? Let's just throw this dude in with some Infinity movie.
Yeah,
and we'll tone him down a little bit, but we're going to keep him. But he's like a more amped up, darker version of Tony Stark. They're going to play well with each other.
Yeah. So so you did see real quick because we were kind of talking and joking around the end credit where he shoots himself reading the Green Lantern script.
Yeah. Oh my god.
He's like, "This is my big break." And
yeah. And it looks like the apartment he has in Green Lantern in the movie. It's awesome.
It's too good. So I don't know. Like
I love the symbolism there where Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool shoots Ryan Reynolds, the actor reading the Green Lantern script.
Yeah, or even when he shoots Ryan Reynolds as the previous Deadpool from the previous Wolverine Origins movie.
Oh, like, yeah. He kills Wade.
Version of it, and you're like, what is happening? Like,
what is happening?
Too good, but...
Dude, and that's the guy. That's the warden who has the line in Hancock.
Oh, yes.
What is happening?
Yeah.
That guy just can't catch a break, man. First he loses his hand, then he dies. Then he dies in this movie.
Yeah.
He explodes.
He's also in... That actor's in Ray Donovan. He plays someone with cerebral palsy. Like, plays him to the point where, like, you can't imagine the guy not having cerebral palsy. And you see him in other movies, and you're like, oh, cerebral palsy Ray Donovan guy. He's an actor, I forgot.
He will forever be the what is happening guy in Hancock to me.
But no, dude, like, Deadpool, total home run, total recommendation. Like, thumbs up, go see it, rock and roll.
Don't wait for it to come on Netflix or whatever you stream stuff through, or if you go on the dark net and you download these things from China.
Check it out. Yeah, we don't download. We only
upload.
We only legally stream through Amazon Instant or Google Play or Apple iTunes. That's it. Period.
Or Roku or the dark web or torrent sites.
That's just the way it's done, son. But yeah, rock and roll.
Absolutely.
Anything else to say?
If you don't see this, you are a fool.
You are a dead fool.
Yes. Now, if you drink the drink, the Deadpool drink, and go see it,
then go to YouTube. Just search Deadpool on YouTube and find our drink and make it, and let us know. If you
survive.
Pete,
we barely did.
Yeah, barely. This is Pete and Mark signing off. Rock and roll.
See you next time.
Very nice. There you go.